Merry Christmas and welcome to this week's edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Hallie Kilberg
and Miranda Peters. We're so happy to be here with you today. We who are on the air can feel the anticipation in the air as Christmas is a mere 3 days away.
When it comes to the spirit of the holiday, there are undoubtedly many well-known Christmas stories and songs.
If someone says,
Hermie doesn't want to make toys,
you think of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Or when you hear,
Teacher says, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
The lessons learned by George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life come to mind.
The warning,
you'll shoot your eye out,
makes you think of Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
All is calm, all is bright evokes the hymn Silent Night.
And God Bless Us Everyone makes you think of Tiny Tim's words in Charles Dickens' beloved classic, The Christmas Carol.
You may recall that in the story of The Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge is visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future.
So, in the spirit of The Christmas Carol, we here at Marquette in Motion will be bringing you a little bit of Christmas past, present, and future.
We have the past here as some of our teachers share their favorite Christmas memories.
In segment 2, Jeb and Garrett will share with you the present as they bring the most recent sports results.
Justina will be here with a little Christmas future as she highlights the voices of our preschoolers.
And we will be going back to the past in segment 3 as we'll bring you an interview with some of Marquette in Motion's reporters from the past.
Who from the past will be here exactly? Well, you'll just have to stay tuned to find out.
Then to end the show, you'll find out Marquette's future happenings. Macy and Amy will be looking ahead.
To begin the show, however, we're going to start with some memories of Christmases past.
We ambushed some of our teachers, asking them to share some of their favorite Christmas memories. Here's what they had to say.
Carol Scott Feller. I teach theology to grades 6 through 11. My favorite Christmas memory, I think, would be the one where we went out and cut our own tree and put it up. This was at my grandma's in Arkansas. Decorated it with homemade ornaments and strings of popcorn. And part of the reason that it's my favorite is because it was the last Christmas that I spent with my grandma.
My name is Lexi Stickrod. I teach Spanish, and my favorite memory is when my, not husband at that point, but my husband now got me a trip to Disney World for Christmas.
My name is Mrs. Storm. I teach high school math, and one of my favorite Christmas memories is getting together at my grandma's house with my family that has over 300 people now.
My name is Joel Sieverding, and I teach physical education and health. And my favorite memory of Christmas is when we had Santa Claus come to the house when our children were little, and we gave them, the reindeer, bananas and apples.
My name is Andy Bishop. I teach English at the high school, and my favorite Christmas memory is sneaking to the middle of our upstairs and peering down over the corner and seeing all the presents that were lined up, and then watching my sibling tumble down the stairs.
My name is Karen Timmerman, and I teach high school science. And I would say that my favorite Christmases are the Christmases that my brother comes home. He moved to Texas right after he graduated from college, and so it's been a very rare thing for him to be home at Christmas. So it's a unique opportunity when my siblings get together with my mom.
Jim Hollinsby. I am a high school social studies teacher at Marquette. My favorite Christmas memory is from 1997 when, at the age of 8, I got both a Tim Dwight Atlanta Falcons jersey and a Nintendo 64 complete with Mario Kart, Zelda, and NFL Quarterback Club.
My name is Julie Schmidt, and I am the school counselor. And my favorite Christmas memory was when the pigs got out in our front yard from the neighbor down the road, and there were pigs running all over all of our neighbors' yards, and all of the dads went out chasing after them in their Sunday suits, and we had to stay in the house and watch.
Thanks for those Christmas memories, teachers. Listeners, meet us right back here after this commercial break to make some more memories.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now are Jeb and Garrett with some Christmas present, the most recent sports happenings.
Thanks, girls. We'll start off this week with some results from last week's away games against Midland.
Here, the JV girls started off the night with a win, and the JV boys team followed with their first win of the season.
The varsity girls then took the court to take on the Eagles, In this game, the girls were able to win with a final score of 51-30, being led by seniors Tiana Richmond with 14 points and 10 rebounds, and Macy Kramer with 13 points and 6 steals.
The boys' team rounded off the night with an intense game where they were able to pull off a win against the Eagles, with a final score of 56-42. Here, the boys were led by senior Ethan Fiffner with a total of 21 points and 6 steals.
On Tuesday, December 18th, the boys' JV and varsity teams traveled to Mount Carroll, Illinois to take on the West Carroll Thunder.
The action started off at 6 o'clock with the JV boys. In this game, they were neck and neck all the way until the end, where the Marquette sophomore Asa Berthel was able to score a basket with less than 10 seconds left, securing the 1-point victory.
The Marquette varsity boys team faced off against a tough team to finish the night. Despite senior Danny Coos' 24 points, the boys were not able to bring home a win.
Yesterday, Friday, December 21st, the Mohawks took on Kelmus Wheatland at home. This was Parents' Night for all basketball, dance, and cheerleading athletes and managers.
And these results will be a next year's edition. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Jeb Schwager
and Garrett Krieg
with your Marquette Sports Report.
To celebrate Christmas future, Justina Denlinger is here with the voices representing our future, the preschoolers.
If you frequent Marquette's Facebook page, you maybe have read how some of Marquette's preschool parents especially love one of the songs that their preschoolers have been singing. It's called Happy Birthday, Jesus, and the song's lyrics read, Happy birthday, Jesus. I'm so glad it's Christmas. All the candles and bells make the holiday swell, but the best gift is you. Happy birthday, Jesus. Jesus, I love you. Here to share this song are the 4-year-old preschool students.
Happy birthday, Jesus. I'm so glad it's Christmas. All the carols and bells make the holidays well. But all of you, happy birthday, Jesus. Jesus, I love you.
Thank you so much, boys and girls. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Justina Denlinger. Before I go, the preschoolers have one more message.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks, Christmas Future. Listeners, stay tuned. We'll have a new segment for you right after the break.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. We're here with some very special guests, Marquette alumni Jonathan Herrig, Lauren Kilberg, and Logan Schrader.
Well, thanks for being with us here today, everyone. Before we start, you, along with some other Marquette graduates, were at school today, on Thursday. Can you tell our listeners why?
We were in the high school English classrooms talking to some of the high school students about what it means to transition from high school to college and how to make that transition as smooth as possible.
Now, as you may remember, one of the segments, now discontinued for obvious reasons, was You Ask, We Answer. In that segment, listeners were encouraged to email a question, and we as reporters would employ our best journalism to find the answers.
But Marquette in Motion reporters began to lovingly refer to that segment as We Ask, We Answer because it was very rare that listeners ever sent questions in. In fact, they never did.
So if it's all right with everyone, we'd like to, for old time's sake, do a little spin on this. We call it We Ask and You Answer. And for the most part, it'll be Christmas themed.
All right, here we go. The first question reads, there are many people in my life that I love very much, and I would love to give them all very thoughtful and useful Christmas gifts. I realize, though, that it's unrealistic to give them all something. So how do I narrow it down without hurting anyone's feelings?
I guess the advice that I would give is probably, since you can't give everybody presents every year, maybe, I don't know.
I think that people just really need to know that they are in your thoughts, and quality time is really the best gift that someone can give. So whether that is seeing if they can grab coffee some morning before work or writing them a nice Christmas card, they will appreciate the thought that you put into thinking of them over your busy holiday season.
So I was basically going to give the same advice. I was going to say, even if you can't get everybody maybe like a huge extravagant gift to show them how much you love them, you can do that in smaller ways. Maybe you can make something homemade. You can bake for people. Everyone loves a good handwritten card. That's something I like to do for people. But yeah, I would say just give gifts to the people you can and then be a gift to other people.
The gifts that you give to people don't necessarily need to be very extravagant and extreme. Sometimes the best presents that you give to people are just something simple to show that you care about them.
All right, the next question is regifting smart or definitely not okay?
I would say it's okay as long as you know that the other person would like that. I mean, you might as well put it to good use. But if you're just doing it to get rid of it because you don't want it, I say that's a no.
Yeah, I would say that's good advice. I guess also with regifting, make sure your circles don't mix. That would be really awkward, right? If you gave someone a gift that they knew you got from somebody else, but I don't see a problem with it. I've regifted.
As long as you do it in a sneaky way, like Lauren said. You have to do it with good intentions, too. As long as things are done with good intentions, you can really explain yourself out of any sticky situations you get into.
I'm looking for a Christmas song or story that's especially inspirational. Can you recommend something?
Pentatonics just released a new Christmas album this year, and one of the songs on their Christmas album is When You Believe from the Prince of Egypt, and that is a wonderful message about believing in yourselves and seeing all the mountains you can overcome when you do believe in yourselves and you take that leap and you have hope. And that is something that I think all of us could listen to and look into this Christmas season.
I think something that I really like doing every Christmas when it's on TV is that I love to watch It's a Wonderful Life. And I think that movie always has a good message and a good reminder for everybody of the things that really matter in life. I think especially in this season, it can be really hard to keep your focus on people and on relationships and on things that are actually what's important in life. And so I think that movie just always serves as a good reminder for me and for a lot of people of the things that we really should be focusing on and the things that we should be putting our time and heart and energy into. So that's always a Christmas favorite of mine that I would recommend to people, especially if they haven't seen it. Thank you for letting us have a little retro fun here today. Now, you've all obviously moved on since we've last heard you on Marquette in Motion. What are you all pursuing?
I am a senior at Loras this year. I'm double majoring in neuroscience and biochemistry, and my goal is to matriculate into a medical school this fall, and my eventual goal is to become a neurologist.
And I'm currently a junior at the University of Northern Iowa. I'm majoring in elementary and middle level education, and eventually I would like to be a middle school teacher, and I would also like to write books for children.
I am currently a second-year student at Southwest Tech in Fenimore, Wisconsin, and right now I am studying ag mechanics, and my plans for after school are to continue on the family farming operation with my dad.
Thank you so much, Jonathan, Lauren, and Logan, for being here with us today. We're going to ask you to stick around for just a minute and help us sign off one last time. But first, here are Macy and Amy looking ahead.
There will be no school December 24th through January 2nd due to Christmas break.
On January 2nd, there is a youth group meeting at 7:30 in the Rectory for high school students.
On Thursday, January 3rd, classes will resume.
On Friday the 4th, all high school basketball teams will be playing at Springville, with JV starting at 4 and varsity starting at 6.
On the weekend of January 5th and 6th, Marquette will host the Grade School Classic Basketball Tournament.
For Looking Ahead, this has been Macy Kramer
and Amy Sieverding
for Marquette in Motion.
And we wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thank you, listeners, for being with us today.
And in the paraphrased words of Tiny Tim, may God bless you, everyone.
For Marquette in Motion, this has been Miranda Peters,
Hallie Kilberg,
Jonathan Herrig,
Lauren Kilberg,
and Logan Schrader.
And remember, stay informed,
stay involved,
stay in motion.